Patreon supporters got to see previews, work-in-progress images, and high-resolution shots of the finished product. If you want to join them, all you have to do is donate even the smallest amount. Link is in the description below. You also get the minifigures now. All patrons get that as long as they donate $10 eventually. Hello out there, this is Angel 2001 coming at you with a commission for Ink Bunnie's Zarenchisonku. Zarenchisonku. Anyway, he wanted Bunnie, specifically Bunnie in the more anthropomorphized style commonly seen at around the comic book's halfway point. He was specifically inspired by this one fan art done by Team Acorn. Team Acorn are a bunch of talented artists, so I can see why he would want something that looks more like this. Anyway, you've seen me do this before, so the base figure is the same. It is that particular Applejack Equestria Girl mini, the one with the big hat, because it happens to look almost exactly like Bunnie's hat. Although, as you can see here from the dismantled portion, the arms and legs can't be removed from their sockets, only the knees and elbows can. I actually used a muzzle from a real Tails figure, so there will be part of an actual Sonic figure in this Sonic figure. I had to cut off Applejack's human nose so that I could stick the muzzle on nice and smooth, and then paint everything around to make, Bunnie's face. Bunnie's eyes are shaped differently than the Equestria Girl mini eyes are, and yes, this was rather a pain to paint because she's all yellow and purple, which are two colors that do not like to work. The ears had to be made on top of the hat. This, of course, means the hat is not removable, and what you see here is just a craft foam core, something that gave me something to sculpt around. I think next time I should use something a little bit firmer because it was very difficult to get the craft foam to actually stick to this stuff, so making the ears was quite a bear. Of course, I didn't take any work-in-progress shots of the ears as I made them because I had to work so hard to keep them from flopping over on me. So let's just skip ahead to the body, which, you take off the skirt and sculpt on Bunnie's more busty physique than what Applejack has. And I also sculpted in the, the jacket look. It's back there. It's just kind of sculpted to look like an open jacket. And I did make some modifications to the left arm so it wouldn't have a sleeve because, Bunnie's cybernetic arm is there. All painted up, it's looking pretty good. The legs were actually pretty simple for the most part. I used an X-Acto knife to cut off the apple shapes from the fronts of the boots, and then sculpted on Bunnie's big old rabbit toes because, rabbit toes, that's kind of a iconic part of her look, Well, that's about all I took of the work-in-progress shots. I forgot to take a picture of her sculpted hand, so let's just take a look at the completed figure. And there we go, it's Bunnie Rabbit. So yes, like I said, the left hand is completely sculpted from scratch, and the right hand is from a Wave figure. So between Tails' muzzle and Wave's hand, that means there's actually two parts of actual Sonic toys that got used to make this custom. So, like I said, I'm very nostalgic for this style because, this is how the Sonic comic looked in my teenage years, and it actually looked pretty good for a little while before they started to get really lazy with it, and the characters almost started to look like they were melting. Anybody who read the comics from, the mid-2000s probably knows what I'm talking about, before Ian Flynn took over and the style started to look more like the video games, which was, good still. So yeah, the only real failing is that the Equestria Girls figures have weird articulation in the legs. The way the pin disc is attached to the hip gives them an almost Y-crotch aspect to the way their legs work. And it's unfortunate, but they put the swivel below the knee instead of above it, so, the hips wouldn't have been a problem if the swivel was above the knee instead, because then you would compensate. But, the way they made it just kind of looks weird. Anyway, this is still pretty good. I'll be using Equestria Girls minis to make some more customs in the near future, so look forward to that. But for now, Angel 2001 is signing off.